We just have recite the three principle of the aspect of the path. Therefore, at the sentence number 9, the paragraph 9, although you tend in renunciation and the mind of bodhicitta, without wisdom which realizes the ultimate reality, you cannot cut the root of the secular existence. Therefore, strive to understand dependent arising. Then the last paragraph, number 14, O my child, once you have realized thus the point of the three principal path, seek solitude and cultivate strong determination and quickly reach the final aspiration. So actually we have been, try to understand the meaning of emptiness or dependent arising. Because here Lama Tsongkhapa says here, even though you are trained in renunciation, let's say you already have the mind which is totally renounced from the samsara. Also you have the mind of bodhicitta. Without wisdom, which is realize ultimate reality or emptiness, then you cannot cut root of samsara, root of the cyclic existence. Therefore, strive to understand dependent arising. After we fully understand everything, then we need to practice. So we have been trying to understand emptiness for quite a long time, but it's not easy to understand. So in order to have a strong aspiration, really wish to know the reality, the emptiness, first we must have to be very practical. We have to make sure we are really, seeking liberation. We are seeking Buddhahood. Therefore, at the basic, as a foundation, we very often need to contemplate, we need to meditate the nature of the samsara. And the samsara not only refer to the place, the land where we stay, where we were born. Also mainly samsara refer to the physical body which is we have. Now we think about how long we have this kind of physical body. Since beginningless time, so we have been taking many kinds of different body. All body which is we have taken, its nature is samsara. So due to this body, we need so many things. Sometimes we cannot have it, that we really struggle to have the thing, because the thing is very necessary for the body. So we have been, eating different kinds of food, different kinds of drink, different kinds of clothes, different kinds of house and cars, whichever. Most of the thing we use for, the comfort for the physical body. That means the physical body is a basis, is look like the man, a source to arise all the sufferings and problems. So, as a Buddhist, we mainly wish to stop to taking this kind of body, which is truth of suffering. As a Buddhist, we are not only seeking the samsaric happiness. We are not just seeking the physical happiness. We are mainly seeking how to free us from the truth of suffering, this kind of physical body. So second, in order to free from the truth of suffering, the physical body, then we need to free from the causes and condition of the physical body, right? Physical body, the truth of suffering. There's three types. Mainly the pervasive suffering. Then we must know, all the sentient beings has the physical body. All the sentient beings wish to be free from suffering, but they cannot. They're still, always in the samsara, because we really don't understand, the real causes and condition of the suffering, the physical suffering or the mental sufferings. Then we need to think how the sufferings arise. Then there are two important causes, which is afflictive emotions and karmas. Karma has two types, positive karma and negative karma. The positive karma accumulated through the positive actions, a positive motivation. And the negative karma accumulated by the negative motivation or negative actions. Both of them, the positive or negative actions, both of them, rooted or caused by ignorance. Ignorance. Therefore, the ignorance is the root to arise all the negative thoughts, all the afflictive emotions, all the positive and negative karma as well. Therefore, the afflictive emotions, the karmas, positive or negative, they cause to have the physical body. If we accumulate a lot of negative karma, these negative karmas produce in different kinds of physical body, like physical body of the hungry ghost, physical body of the hell being, physical body of the animal. These are different types of body. The positive karma also produce different types of body, but both bodies still the truth of suffering is become the root, it kind of become the foundation to arouse all kinds of suffering. So therefore you must know the order. All the physical or mental sufferings which we have is through arising from every emotions and karmas. Both of them, rooted, by ignorance. Then, so therefore we need to, overcome, we need to stop the ignorance, right? Ignorance. Then ignorance, we cannot simply stop to do certain simple meditation, through recitation, chanting, any kind. No, cannot. Therefore, he said, without the wisdom which is emptiness, without realize the reality, you cannot cut the road of samsara. Therefore, we really have been studying, the very important topic, which is emptiness. And also, we must know, we really try to understand emptiness. It's so difficult to understand emptiness. I told many times, there are two reasons. Reason number one, we have a lot of, negative thoughts. Negative thoughts mean a lot of afflictive emotions, anger, hatred, so many negative minds. All negative minds, blocked to realize emptiness. Also, we have so many negative karmas. It's so powerful. Also, the negative karmas, totally block to realize emptiness. Some may you have, less negative thoughts, less every emotions, less negative karmas, but we don't have enough the merit. We don't have enough, strong positive karma, which is cause to realize emptiness. Therefore, in order to realize emptiness, so we really need to purify all the negative karma we have accumulated. Also, we need to stop to accumulate the negative karmas. Also, we need to accumulate a lot of positive karma. Then, definitely, in this lifetime, plus, not purification and accumulation, plus we really need to study based on, Lamrim, based on the teaching, taught by Buddha Shakyamuni, taught by particularly Nagarjuna. So we have been studying, very important topics. And also Buddha said, at the beginning, I don't want to give a teaching because the teaching, which is the content which is I realize, it is so profound, it is so pure, nobody going to understand. Therefore, he at the beginning, he reject to give a teachings. He can teach, like compassion, love, tolerance, perfections, but he knew all of them is very important, but main important, he must teach emptiness. That's why at the beginning he thought, I don't think, anybody going to understand emptiness. There's no point to teach, other things. For example, as a teacher, so yes, you can teach, science, math, history, so many things. But the student, they don't understand, they don't really cannot learn the alphabet, that you cannot teach. That's so important to teach emptiness, so important to realize emptiness. Right, emptiness. Then, many times when you read the Lamrim, you feel, oh, I don't think, I realize emptiness. I can understand emptiness is so difficult. So, emptiness itself is neither difficult nor easy. It's become difficult for us because we don't have enough, like a merit. We didn't do the proper purification. Therefore, realizing emptiness is a very, very, very important. And also, on the other hand, many Indian masters, including Buddha Shakyamuni, says, even though you have a doubt, even though you have a doubt mind about emptiness, just have a doubt, doubt, you can reduce a lot of negative thoughts. You can reduce a lot of negative karma, even though you have a doubt. We have not just doubt, we really, wish to realize emptiness. This kind of mind arises just few minutes. You can accumulate, great amounts of merit. Also, you can quite, reduce about, negative karmas. For example, somebody has a very, powerful weapon. When the person, almost ready to press the button, how do you feel? Do you feel happy or scared? Very scared. Right? If the bullet come out, they will kill you. Right? Kill you. So the bullet look like very powerful bullet. It look like emptiness. So the doubt is, the fingers is triggers. Fingers look like the doubts. Even though you have a doubts, and the ignorance is scared. Oh, the person going to trigger the emptiness of the bullet. It's going to destroy me. Yes, it's true. It's just, you really need to study. So difficult, I know the topic is difficult. If you continuously try, definitely you will realize emptiness, no doubt. So therefore, I will just read one more. You no need to open the book. You just listen, try to digest. So it is, I think, third time. So how we can realize emptiness? So the emptiness must realize through negate, refute the negation. Clear? So in order to realize emptiness, selflessness, we need to negate the negation, right? Negation. So what does mean negation? So emptiness is the thing we wish to realize. Then negation here, the self, right? The self, the phenomena exists selfly or inherently. Those are the negation you need to negate. So the emptiness must realize through negate. The negation must realize through refute the negation. So how we can refute? So we must refute the negation through logics and reasoning. The most important reasoning is dependent arising. Dependent arising. Very important, dependence. So when we say dependent arising or dependently arise, the opposite is independent arising or independent arising, right? So it's total two opposite. So for example, you must think first how thing exists, arise. All phenomena exist dependently, not independent arising. All phenomena are dependent arising. So when you realize everything dependently arise, then you reject the opposite, which is independent arise, independent existence, right? So the independent existence, the selfly arise, those are the negation you need to negate. Then after that, so we need to refute the negation, we need to prove the emptiness. So refutation with excellent reasoning, so a stop inaccurate and mistaken conceptions. That means there's two types of minds. One mind is a inaccurate, very mistaken mind. One mind is very accurate, unmistaken mind. Which is mistaken mind we call ignorance. Non-mistaken, very accurate mind we call the wisdom. Then here you must remember, the analogy wearing, like glasses. On the right hand eyes you have the, like a blue glass. On the left eyes you have a pure white glass. The both eyes, when they look at the snow mountain, on the right eyes can perceive the snow mountain as a blue. The left eyes perceive the snow mountain as a white. Both eyes looking at the snow mountain. But the appearance is different. Then the wisdom which realizes emptiness. and the ignorance which is apprehend the dependent existence, inherent existence. Both minds, looking at the phenomena, but the appearance is totally different. So then, how we can really stop? How we can stop the ignorance? There's so many, many numbers of ignorance, right? In generally, there are a limitless number of conceptual consciousness that apprehend the object of negation, right? There's a many conceptual consciousness. There's a many ignorance. So how we can stop all the ignorance? Then, however, you should carefully identify the incorrect conceptual consciousness that is the root of all faults and defeats. And you should eradicate it different objects, right? That means first you need to identify the conceptual consciousness. The conceptual consciousness can be, correct, can be incorrect, doesn't matter. The conceptual consciousness that apprehend, right? That apprehend what? Apprehend the object of negation. However, you should carefully identify the incorrect conceptual consciousness that is the root of all faults and defects, and you should eradicate the referent object. That means here object and different. Here object and referent object are different. The meaning is different. For example, the two eyes, right? The eyes, the right eyes can perceive what? Below snow mountain. The left eyes perceive the white snow mountain. Both them perceive the snow mountain. Snow mountain. That means we no need to refute. We no need to refute. Right? We no need to eradicate the snow mountain. We need to eradicate the below snow mountain. Right? Therefore, so the ignorance apprehend all phenomena exist inherently. So we need to eradicate the inherent existence. Okay? So we have to... it's coming. So first you please make sure the ignorance is the root of the all problems and sufferings. The ignorance is the mistake in mind. So we need to stop the ignorance. How we can stop the ignorance? So we need to refute or we need to eradicate the ignorance referent object. Ignorance referent object. So what is the referent object of the ignorance? What is the referent object of ignorance? Yes. Then, for example, the wisdom which is realize emptiness of the vase, right? Emptiness of the vase. The ignorance, which is ignorance about the vase, that both ignorance and wisdom both perceive the vase, right? Vase. No need to eradicate, no need to negate the vase. So you need to eradicate the referent object of ignorance, which is the independent existent vast. Okay, inherent existent vast. Those are the what called referent object. Then analogy I told you. So in order to stop the mistaking mind, you should not say there's no snow mountain. You must say there's no below snow mountain. Then, so there's so many, different kinds of antidotes. The anger reduced through practice of compassion, right? Compassion. Attachment, they reduce through essenceless, contemplation on the ugliness. So all the antidotes are antidotes for individually negative thoughts, right? Because he said here, those said to eliminate hostility do not extinguishing attachment. Therefore, they are not broadly and effective. Right? Therefore, the antidotes for ignorance can eliminate all the afflictive thoughts. Right? That means, so wisdom, the wisdom which is realize emptiness, is the the best antidotes for ignorance, include all other defiled minds. Clear? Now you need to know here how is possible. If I reduce ignorance, it can reduce attachment, anger, hatred, everything, right? So look like there's a huge tree. So you hold a branch of the tree. If you shake the branch, you're shaking only the branch. You're not shaking other branch. If you shake from the root of the tree, then you can shake. You can shake all kinds of the branch. That means it's really ignorance. You really need to eradicate the ignorance. You need to reduce ignorance, then everything going to reduce. So how is possible? How is come? Then, what is the delusion? Means what is the ignorance? It is a ignorance which is in this context is a unawareness that mistakenly imposes intrinsic nature. That means ignorance is look like, ignorance is a mind, awareness, then mistakenly imposes intrinsic nature. So all phenomena not exist intrinsically. It doesn't have intrinsic nature. Clear? Any phenomena, it doesn't have an intrinsic nature. But when we look at the phenomena, for us, everything look like exists intrinsically. It has an intrinsic nature. This kind of concept, this kind of appearance come from where? Come from ignorance. Ignorance superimposes intrinsic nature. Therefore, also I hope you remember the analogy. Then ignorance, mistakenly superimpose intrinsic nature, and it apprehend internal, external phenomena as existing by way of their own intrinsic character, right? Intrinsic character. Then I said the analogy. So you went to, like shopping mall, there's a new phone, So you thought, there's a new phone. You don't have any, desire to buy the phone. You thought, oh, there's a new arrival phone. Or there's a new something. What is this, a new phone? Then someone came and give you a lot of explanation, give a lot of, description about the phone. Right? Then slowly your mind change. Finally, you really, really want to buy. So even though you don't have enough money, you really want to buy. You back to home, you still remember the phone. Right? How come these kind of thoughts? Because the person who give you instruction about the phone, he's really, superimpose. They add so many quality which doesn't have he or she give lot of instruction about the good quality, but actually it doesn't have all this or good quality. After you bought it, you feel, what happened? He or she said, this, after I bought, nothing there, right? Then you back to the shop. Then say, how come you said this? When after I bought it, I cannot see all the functions. Then again he or she give you a lot of instruction. No, you didn't do this, you do. Finally, you have a lot of, kind of delusion mind, right? There's a ignorance. The ignorant impose, extra quality, which is intrinsic nature on all phenomena. Then for us, the external or internal phenomena, all phenomena look like exist how? Inherently, independently. Everything look real there. So, therefore, we need to eradicate the delusion, that everything, all other thoughts, negative thoughts going to eliminate. Then the another analogy, by Arya Devas, 400 says. So Arya Deva is, one of the most important disciple of the Nagarjuna. Chandragirti, he wasn't met Nagarjuna. He wasn't, the direct disciple of the Nagarjuna. Arya Deva was the direct disciple of the Nagarjuna. Very important. So look at, he says, page number 207, you just listen, is okay. Just as the tactile sensory faculties pervades the body, right? Body. There's a body, and talk about the sensory faculty. Then the sensory faculty that pervades all parts of body, right? So when you touch your head, can you feel something? Yes, we can feel something, because the head is, pervades the, what you call here, the tactile sensory. Then delusion lies within all the afflictions, right? That means any kinds of affliction arise, attachment arise, ignorance there. Anger arise, ignorance there. Right? So here you may think how the ignorance is always there. How ignorance is always there. For example, let's say electricity. These days, all the functions, when you use the mobile phone, electricity must be there. When you need to use the electric and like a stove, electricity must be there. Right? Everywhere electricity. So when electricity stop, everything stop. Same thing, attachment arise. There's a two reason. When attachment arise based on ignorance. Ignorance is the root. You can say root. Ignorance is the root, Therefore, attachment arises. Not only that, when attachment arises based on what? A object. Without object, no attachment. Without object, no anger. So attachment, anger, hatred, all the funny thoughts arise based on a object or many objects. There must be an object. So when attachment arises, it arises based on the attractive or beautiful object. That time we feel the beautiful object exists from its own side, from their side. Right? We never think it is imposed by our thoughts. So anger, everything arises based on ignorance, motivated by ignorance. For example, body and the sensory of the body. Clear? This is the analogy. Then, so there's two kinds of ignorance. What are they? Yeah, there's generally, we say ignorance is the root. Ignorance can be two kinds of. Ignorance of phenomena, ignorance of the being or person. So ignorance is the root of the second existence. Then somebody asks a question, if ignorance is the root of the second existence, then it would be incorrect for Chandrakirti to explain that the view of pressing aggregates as I and mine is the root of second existence. That means, if ignorance is the root of the second existence, then what happened, the view of pressing aggregates is also root of the cyclic existence. There cannot be two primary cause, right? Then the answer was, ignorance is a general, then pressing aggregate is the instant. For they say ignorance is the root of the second existence. Actually, the view pressing aggregates is the root. Then talk about ignorance is cognitive obscuration according to the Pasangika. Not only that, ignorance is the first among the 12 dependent arising. Now, page number 208. Thus, because he explained that is the first of the 12 factors of the dependent arising, it is an affliction and not a cognitive obscuration. Right? The ignorance is the affliction obscuration, not the cognitive obscuration. Other school, ignorance always be the cognitive obscuration, not the affliction obscurations. This is the difference. So, what are the cognitive obscuration? Then this will explain below. Right? So according to Pasangika, ignorance is not cognitive obscuration. It is afflictive obscurations. Right? Yeah, afflictive obscuration. Other schools, ignorance always be cognitive obscuration, not afflictive obscurations. So why not, right? Why not Pasangika? Why not ignorance is cognitive operations. Because now you must know here, both schools, okay, Pasangika and rest of the school, all of them agree ignorance is the first among the 12 spectre dependent arising is first both. But it is an affliction, this will explain. Therefore, he explained that the ignorance, which is the first of the 12 factors, is the root of secular existence. And within that, okay, look at within that, he also explains that the view of pressing arrogance is the root of the secular existence. Since ignorance is general category, and the view of pressing arrogance is an instance, there's no contradictions. Sometimes, Chandrakirti says ignorance is the root of the secular existence. Sometimes say the view of pressing arrogance is the root. But there's no contradiction. Both of these the root of the cyclic existence. Because ignorance is the general category, then pressing aggregate is an instance. So we already studied here. Next, ignorance is the opposite. So without looking at your book, okay, just without looking at your book, ignorance is opposite of the knowledge, all right? Knowledge. Okay, first listen me, don't look at your Lamrim book. Ignorance is the opposite of the knowledge, and this does not refer to the just any knowledge, but to the wisdom that knows the reality. That is selflessness. Now, it's always must remember, yes, ignorance is the opposite of the wisdom. We are not talking all kinds of wisdom. We are talking about particular wisdom. The wisdom which is knows what? Reality. Okay, here you must know, you can say, the wisdom that knows the reality. That knows the emptiness. That knows the ultimate truth. Those are same meaning. Once more, the wisdom that knows the reality, right? The wisdom that knows the emptiness. The wisdom that knows the ultimate truth. The wisdom that knows the selflessness. Right? That means wisdom, not just the mind which is very wise. Particularly because ignorance and wisdom is totally opposite. Like anger and compassion. So anger is hate the person. Compassion hold the person. Right? When anger arises, you hold the person or you push back the person. You push back. Compassion arises, you bring in. Anger push out. It's total opposite. That means ignorance arises, everything exists as apprehend everything exists as an inherent existence. Wisdom arises, it looks like everything destroys. That means totally two opposite mind. Selflessness. Now what does it mean opposite here? Right? First, ignorance is the opposite of the knowledge. The knowledge refers to the wisdom which realize selflessness, emptiness, ultimate truth, and so. What does mean opposite? The opposite of that cannot simply be non-existent of that wisdom. Right? Opposite is not simply be the non-existence of the wisdom, nor can it simply be something other than the wisdom. Therefore, it is a conception conception, that is that wisdom contradictory equivalent. Right? That means totally the opposite of the wisdom. So this is superimposition of self. There are two types. The superimposition of an objective self and the superimposition of a personal self. That means, so ignorance, superimpose self on the object, self on the person. Okay, objective self and personal self. Thus, both the conception of personal self and the conception of the unobjective self are ignorance. Therefore, when he referred to the Chandrakirti. When he indicates that the view of the perishing arrogance is the root of all other afflictions, it does not mean the ignorance is not the root, right? Not the root. So, Chandrakirti said, ignorance is also root of the existence. View of perishing arrogance is also the root of the affliction. There's no contradiction. The next paragraph becomes more clear here. As long as you conceive, so here talking about two kinds of ignorance of objective self and personal self. That means two types of ignorance. Ignorance is the root, as well as view of the perishing arrogance also the root of all other afflictions. As long as you conceive of the aggregates, you will conceive of them as I. Now, so what is the relate kind of connection? We talk about semblance of the person, semblance of the phenomena. We have two types of ignorance. Now you just this concept, this idea bring within yourself. So you have a physical body. We have a 5 aggregates. Also we have a I, right? We have a I. So when we say I go, or I'm going, right? I'm going mean what are you talking about? You're talking about I'm going. How are you going? That means your physical body is moving. Right? Oh, I saw the person. Actually, do you really, do you really saw the person? Did you really see the person? Yes. What? Saw the body. Right? Oh, I met the person. I saw the person. I touched the person. It's about the body. Right? Physical body. That means, again, when the ignorance arises, the personal, the ignorance about the person is arise. Also is arise based on the 5 aggregates. As long as you have as long as you have the misperception about the 5 aggregates, then the second ignorance is always there. Look at here. As long as you conceive of aggregates, not just conceive, you say, as long as you conceive of the aggregates as a intrinsic existence, right? As long as you conceive of the aggregates as an intrinsic existence, you will conceive of them whom? 5 aggregates as I. Therefore, in order to realize semblances of person,
Okay? In order to realize selflessness of persons, you need to realize selflessness of the phenomena, particularly in 5 aggregates. Now it is order. Okay? So this means that the ignorance, there is a confusion in regard to an objective self cause, confusion with regard to the personal. There's a two kinds of ignorance. That means that the ignorance, that is confusion in regard to the unobjective self, is caused by which? Is caused to whom? Cause confusion with regard to the personal self. There's are two kinds of self, right? What are they? Objective self and personal self. Which is cause, which is result. The ignorance, there is a confusion in regard to an objective self, is the cause. Cause for what? Cause is confusion with regard to the personal self. Quite clear or not clear? Definitely no. Okay. First, as long as, can you read? As long as you conceive of the aggregates as I. What does mean? No. Actually, look, as long as you conceive of the aggregates, you will conceive of them as I. Right? I. So we have this again here, Luce. Again, I think we use the Sino-Mountain. So right now, for us, okay, right now, this moment, for us, when you think I, right, I go, I eat, I'm happy, I'm not happy, right? When you think about I, when you try to recognize how the I exists, so I is merely depend on aggregates, okay, aggregates, merely designated based on the aggregates, right, aggregates. So you need to realize the I, mine, right, I and me is not, it is empty of self, empty of self. So in order to realize the I is empty of an existent nature, first you need to know the aggregates empty of inherent existence. So far if you don't realize aggregate is empty of inherent existence, you cannot realize emptiness of the I. So in order to realize emptiness of the I, you must realize emptiness of the aggregates. Because so far if you cling, your mind is totally clinging aggregates as a inherent existence, then the eyes always you think exist inherently. Now since this means that the ignorance, there is the confusion, right? Ignorance, there is a confusion. Confusion regard what? In regard to the objective self, right? It's talking about ignorance. Ignorance, there is confusion in regard to an objective self. What is the objective self? What's the objective self? Huh? Oh, adjective, adjective self. The phenomena, let's say inherent existent phenomena. Okay, inherently existent phenomena is the objective self. Therefore, ignorance, there's a confusion in regard to the unobjective self. Not only that, it causes self causes confusion with regard to the personal self. So what is the personal self? Inherent existent person is the personal self. Since this place, the internal division within the ignorance, there's two kinds of ignorance. Within internal division of ignorance in a cause and effect relationship. That means which one cause, which one effect. The ignorance that is confusion in regard to the objective self is the cause. Okay, cause. The confusion with regard to the personal self is the effect. Effect of what? Effect of the first ignorance. It does not contradict the teaching that the view of pressing arrogance is the root of the afflictions other than the ignorance. So there's a lot of quotation you can read. Yes? Cause and effect? Okay. Simple way we can put how many types of ignorance? What are they? Person, ignorance of the phenomena. So two of them, okay, these two of them is cause and effect. Cause and effect. Which one cause, which one effect? Ignorance of the phenomena is the cause to arise, ignorance of the person. Person, right? So ignorance of the person is the ignorance, also is the view of pressing aggregates. Cause and effect. Next, I thought we should study to be here. Okay, next we turned page number 211, 211. First, second, third, the fourth paragraph. Right? The bias on the just, this intrinsic nature, the referred to object of the way that ignorance apprehend things as explained above. Essentially, schools, Buddhist and non-Buddhist, refer many different things when you negate the reference of the ignorance cognitive process. You completely stop all of these tenets driven reflections as though you cut the tree at its root. Therefore, those who have the faculty of the wisdom should understand that the referent object of innate ignorance is the basic object of the negation and should not devote themselves merely to referent. So he talk about the innate ignorance. So, according to different schools, different philosophical school, then there's uh, a different object of ignorance. Therefore, the referent object of the way the ignorant apprehend thing explained above, essentially school, right? The referent object. So, what is the referent object? So let's say I will answer a question directly, all of you. According to the Pasangika, okay? According to Pasangika, what is the referent object? Okay, according to Pasangika school, what is the referent object of the ignorance? Huh? What is the referent object of the ignorance? Huh? Okay, so what is the referent object of the view of pressing aggregates? I think everybody simply say, if somebody asks, what is the referent object of the ignorance? He's talking about the general ignorance, right? That means inherent existent phenomena. Independent existent phenomena are the referent object of the ignorance, general. Right? Then, so according to the other schools, what is the referent object of the ignorance? That there's a different view, right? So many different views. Therefore, here saying the referent object of the way that ignorant apprehend thing as explained above, essential school Buddhists and non-Buddhists refine many different things, right? Different school has a different view about the different object of the ignorance. There's a different view. But when you negate the referent of ignorance cognitive process, you completely stop all other tense divine reification, as though you cut the tree is root. Therefore, those who have the faculty of the wisdom, that means if you really know the referent object of ignorance according to Pasangika, when you're able to eradicate, when you're able to negate the referent object according to the Pasangika school, then all the referent object going to negate. Then those who have the faculty of the wisdom should understand that the referent object of innate ignorance is the basis object of negation and should not be devote themselves merely are refuting the I think this is imaginary construct that are the imported only by the advocated of the philosophical tenets. He's talk about two kinds of generally innate and imaginary construct. Right? So, according to Pasangika, Pasangika thing, only Pasangika schools, only the Pasangika proponent able to recognize, okay? Only the Pasangika proponent able to recognize the actual ignorance. Okay? Rest of the school, whoever try to recognize the actual ignorance, nobody can. Do you remember the analogy? You know that there's a 4 or 5 the blind person around the elephant. Right? Elephant. Somebody touched the tail. This elephant is so thin. Right? So different people has a different view. All of it is wrong. Only the Pasangika proponent able to recognize the ignorance. Only the Pasangika school able to recognize the referent object of ignorance. So when you negate the referent object according to the Pasangika school, then you can negate all other, the different objects. For example, when you cut the tree, then you look like you cut all the branches. Right? So, therefore the innate ignorance. Do you know the meaning innate means? Innate means? Okay, it's naturally there. So when we were born, we don't have the concept of religion, right? Buddhist or Muslim, Hindu, we don't have any concept. So everything we have is influenced by different people. We were not born with the religion. We didn't born with the concept so and so. That means the innate ignorance, we were born with the innate ignorance, not the imaginary construct. Then next sentence you can say they use different words. Construct that are imported only by the advocates of the philosophical tenets. This is what we call imaginary. Reporting the object of negation in this way is not an ideal pursuit. You see that living beings are bound in secular existence by what? By wrong conceptual consciousness that has the object of negation as its object, and you then refute its object. What binds all living beings in secular existence is innate ignorance. Okay? So all living beings in secular existence is because of the innate ignorance, not, next sentence, acquired ignorance. Here, the acquired ignorance, the imaginary construct is a similar meaning. We Tibetan call kuntak. Kuntak means, the concept, the idea mainly come from, different, philosophical schools. So when we were born with the angry, compassion, love, not born with the religion. The religion concept is later. That means the innate ignorance is always there with everybody. The acquired ignorance exists only whom? Among those who advocate philosophical tenets. So it cannot be the root of the secular existence. Here you can learn ignorance can be divided into two concepts. What are they? One is innate, one is acquired ignorance. And two, right? Among the two, which one is the root of the secular existence? Innate ignorance, not the acquired ignorance. Why not? Because acquired ignorance exists only whom? Among the who advocates the philosophical tenets. So all sentient being doesn't have the acquired ignorance. right? They have the root of existence. That means the innate ones. So here you learn there's a ignorance can be the innate one is the not innate ones. The innate ignorance is the root of the second existence. Cannot be the root of existence. It is extremely important to gain specific and certain knowledge of this point. Right? This point. That means, so again, now let's say, we go from effect to the cause. Effect to the cause. You just simply, sit quietly, then I will ask a question, then you can answer. How many types of sufferings? 3. What are they? Suffering of change and pervasive sufferings. How many types of realms? 6 or 3? Okay, 6. What are they? Realms, hungry ghosts and hell realms, then human, then God and demigod. Demigod. Or you can say desire realms, form realms, and formless realms. Yes, right. Those we call these the samsara. Samsara. Samsara can be referred to the place where we stay. Not only, mainly the samsara referred to the pervasive suffering. Okay, pervasive sufferings. And now the 3 realms, the 6 realms, or 3 types of sufferings, is arise caused by what? Caused by, there's 2 important causes. What are they? Not before ignorance. Karmas. Also remember, within the 12 dependent arising, number 1, ignorance. Then we have no. So there's 2 different orders. One is order how Buddha taught. Second is the order of the cause and effect. Ignorance, then craving, grasping. Right? Ignorance, craving, grasping. So, when you read the books, for example, the Rice Seedling Sutra, ignorance. Number 2, the volition or karma. You just jump ignorance to karma, right? Between there, ignorance, then craving, grasping, then karma. Okay? So, all the 3 realms, all the sufferings in samsara or second existence caused by afflictive emotions and karmas. Both of them caused by, rooted by ignorance. Okay, clear, ignorance. So here, ignorance can be, 2 kinds of ignorance. Not say 2 types or 2 kinds of ignorance. What are they? Innate and acquired ignorance. Innate means born, everybody born with it, everybody has it. Innate. Nobody, without teaching, nobody teach you, you already have there. We call the innate. So among the 2 ignorance, which one is the root of the secular existence, innate one, not the acquired one. Why not? Why not?
Innate ignorance pervades all sentient beings,
Hmm.
and the acquire ignorance only pervades non-prasangika's school.
No. Pasangika also have. Let's say, all sentient beings has the innate ignorance. Let's say, so when you study it most precisely, then you can say arhat and so and so. Generally, all being has a innate ignorance. Therefore, innate ignorance is the root. So, what does mean ignorance here? What does mean ignorance? Ignorance is the opposite of the wisdom. Clear? Wisdom. What kind of all wisdom? Ignorance is opposite with the all wisdom? No. The wisdom which relies impermanence. Let's say the wisdom which relies impermanence. It is also wisdom. It is opposite of the ignorance? No. Right? The wisdom which relies impermanence, it is opposite of the ignorance or not? No. Let's say, everyone say no. Right? No. Let's say no. It's good. No. Why not? Don't know. Yes. Now, impermanence, the wisdom which relies impermanence, what's the aspect? Aspect. So, let's say the wisdom which relies impermanent of the vase, impermanent of the house. It apprehend the house as a impermanent. Right? Apprehend the house as a impermanent. Now you need to compare, the wisdom which relies emptiness is apprehend the emptiness as apprehend the phenomena as a emptiness. When you compare emptiness and the impermanence, it's not totally, opposite. Therefore, the wisdom which relies the reality. Reality referred to here. I said few things. Relies the wisdom which relies the reality, which relies as the emptiness, which relies the ultimate truth, which relies the selflessness. This is the opposite of the ignorance. Because ignorance apprehend thing exists as a inherent. Wisdom, which relies emptiness, apprehend thing as a empty of inherent. Right? That means, there's a two person. One person said, oh, the coffee is good. Other person said, coffee is bad. You have to say good and bad. One person say coffee is good, other person say so. When the person say the coffee is so, it's not the opposite. Opposite means totally, direct opposite. Good and bad. Yes and no. Right? Opposite. Then, next, how the ignorance superimpose. They superimpose the inherent nature on the phenomena. How? That means when we look at the phenomena around us, let's say everybody just imagine, just remember a phenomena, any kinds of phenomena. Right? Phenomena. When you remember the phenomena, when you remember that time, for you the phenomena look like exists independently, inherently. Right? You have this kind of concept, this kind of idea. This idea, this concept imposed by ignorance. Ignorance always apprehend the thing existent inherently, independently. That means now you realize, oh, there's a two kinds of ignorance, innate and accurate. Innate is the root. So how the innate ignorance, impose in existent, inherent existent nature to the phenomena. Then now let's say everybody realize, yes, the root of the samsara is the innate ignorance. Now we need to stop. Right? We need to stop the ignorance. Otherwise, what happened? Do you remember in the Rajasini Sutra, 3 arise 7. 7 arise 2. Then 12, go in as a circle. Is never end, never stop. That means ignorance arise based on the five aggregates. Five aggregates. The five aggregates. If you don't know the five aggregates, the nature is empty of inherent existence, you clinging the five aggregates as a independent existence, then ignorance, then attachment, desire, then karma, then you took the rebirth, then you have the aggregates. Is never going to end. Therefore, you need to stop the ignorance. How you can stop? Do you remember then? You cannot stop. You cannot stop, destroy it. Remember in the Lamrim, pot, then hammer. Right? You cannot destroy it, ignorance as a destroying pot by hammer. You need to use wisdom. You need to develop certain wisdom, which is realize. You need to develop certain knowledge, which is realize. Which is realize non-existent as a non-existent. Right? That means you must know inherent existence, independent existence are not existent. You must realize non-existent as a non-existent. Right? Then you can stop the ignorance. Also, in order to realize emptiness, you need to develop certain knowledge, which is certain knowledge that relies as no. First one, you develop certain knowledge which realize non-existent as a non-existent. Second one, in order to realize emptiness, you need to develop certain knowledge which is realize thing as it is. It is. That means when you realize thing as it is, then all the misconception going to be disappeared. Right? For example, you have a really fighting with your friend or your roommate or your relative. You have a very fighting due to misunderstanding. Then, or your friend or somebody explain, no. For example, that for me is happened for me is I don't think the person realized me. I was walking here. I'm between. So there's one person, maybe there are other person. So I'm just walking in between. Other person say hello. I say hello. Actually, the person was saying hello to the next person who is next to me. I thought, oh, she's saying hello. I said, hello. Then I noticed, I don't think I know her. It's mistaken, right? That time, it can be happen. That time, if the lady, how come the monk saying hello me? Maybe she could get angry or upset. Right? Let's say she got angry, upset, she fight me, for example, fight me. Then somebody said, no, you are mistaking, because I thought, you said hello me. Then finally, all the argument finish, because the person realized the truth. Right? In our life, so many things we have, so many problems we have. One is the miscommunication, misunderstanding, or superimpose. So we always try to realize things as it is, what you call no. Do you remember when we say, when you do the meditation, no more, put more, you call English, there's a exit, right? Put more, exit, right? Excessive, no. Anyway, so when you realize thing it is, not more, not less, then you can realize the truth. So we cannot realize the truth because we add more, which is not exist there, which is inherent existence, independent existence, solid existence. We put or more extra quality. Therefore, we cannot realize. Therefore, here you must remember, yes, ignorance. Then you need to negate the negation. Clear? Need the negation, which is the self, which is the inherent existence. We need to negate. So when you negate, if you really don't know how to negate, then there's a danger, serious, dangers to reject everything no exists. Then you fall into one extreme, right? Then also, if you really don't know how to negate the negation, then you negate 99%, but 1% still there. Then again, all the afflictive emotions still arise, because something there. Then you need to realize thing as it is. You need to realize the non-existent as a non-existent. Right? Okay, those are very important. Then innate and the accurate. The next question here. Page number 212. Hence, the ultimate wrong conceptual consciousness that conceives the object of negation is the innate ignorance, which is the first of the 12 factors of dependent arising. Right? That means the innate ignorance is the first among the 12. Then the second one, again, accurate object of negation are merely superimposition based on this. This means based on the innate ignorance. We already have an innate ignorance. Then the second one also come. Which one? Superimposition based, the accurate, right? Accurate object of negation are merely superimposition based on this. Thus, it is not at all the case the reason negate all of the cognitive process through which non-conceptual consciousness, sensory consciousness. So this, I think, you need to read this paragraph, because it's very complex. First, you talk about the cognitive process, right? Cognitive process through which non-conceptual consciousness, which is the sensory consciousness. Second is talk about only conceptual mind consciousness have the cognitive process that are negated by reason. So you read this page number 212, 213. The next lesson, I think, I'll give you short, explanation, page number 212 all the way to 216. Then, next lesson, I think we better to start. Yeah, chapter number 18. Chapter number 18, we will start we will start from chapter number 18. Have a short, discussion about page number 121 all the way to the chapter number 8. Yeah. So I'll give you the short, kind of explanation. Let's start from the chapter number 8. 18 or? Huh? Oh, 18, sorry. 18. Okay, so we can stop here today class. So I know I said many times, the topic is very dry, also difficult to understand. So, every day, in the morning when you do puja, when you do meditation, when you do recitation, so, you mainly do all your practice, wish to realize emptiness, wish to realize the meaning of emptiness, also wish to have a ability or capacity to negate the negation. So we thought, make sure, we thought realize emptiness. You cannot achieve Buddhahood. You cannot achieve liberation. Even though you really cannot, eliminate all the afflictive emotions. You can reduce until look like you don't have any negative thoughts, but still there. So, please, put your effort, use your time, read Lamrim, and also you do a lot of prayer, chanting for realizing emptiness, have a good capacity to realize emptiness, also have a good capacity to able to negate the negations. So, do your practice mainly for realize emptiness. Okay, thank you.